Okay, I'm starting out by clicking on the Enthought Canopy icon. This is what pops up, so I'm clicking on the editor. Here's where you have something like Notepad++ that marks up your Python code. Now I'm going to turn on the ipython, and I'm going to pull it out of here and make it a little bit larger. Okay, and then finally I have a Jupyter file I'm going to start up. So here is the Jupyter file. You can see it's running off a web server that's on my local host. So that means it's running on this computer. It's storing files on this computer. Alright, so here's the workflow. You fool around here at the ipython prompt. This is what I did fooling around. First of all, I figured out that I want to use sympy. So I'm pressing Control-C and I'm putting it in here. So you got to press enter at a blank line. And then to test, my simple test is this. And then a bigger test is this one. And then just to check if pi's in there. So you can see it's a lot like MuPad, Mathematica, MathCAD, Maple. And then if I want a numeric answer. So I fooled around a lot, and you don't want to see me fooling around. This turns into just a bunch of error messages and question marks, and you're just going to get confused. But the fruit of my work here, I've captured in this Python program. And it can run at the .. or it can run at the command line, or we can move it into Jupyter. So if we look over here at Jupyter, this hello world looks a little bit out of place. And that's because there's a lot more here that I can do to edit and decorate in between these in and out boxes. The basic workflow is you start here, fool around, capture what you're doing here, and then make it pretty. So you don't want to use the print command here and here. You want to add that later here in Jupyter. You want to add sliders and widgets that change variables. There's tons of things you can do here to animate what's going on. In fact, this is where a lot of the animation desires you have can be satisfied. So let's pretty this up a bit. I'm going to go here and delete that print command and then rerun that cell. Okay, so I just had the square root of 2 out, and now I want to insert a cell above, and I want this cell to be Markdown. Markdown is a form of HTML that's popular at GitHub. It's much simpler than HTML. So I'm going to put hello world up here as a header. So I'm going to insert a cell above. I'm going to turn it into a Markdown cell. So there it is. Let's save it and let's reload it. And we've got a spelling problem. Save it, reload it, and we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, I've got one last mess to clean up. I've got 9 warnings here. N may be undefined or defined from star. Best practice in Python is not to use this star, which means all. What you want to do is enter every single function that you're going to use. So instead of importing 2,000 functions, you just specify the ones you're going to use. And then when this Python program runs at the .. prompt or runs at the command line, it runs super fast. So let's just check it to see if this works. Oh, I've got one more. What is that? Undefined name init printing. Okay, so I guess that's part of sympy too. Alright, and all my error messages went away. So now what I want to do is just change this over here in my Jupyter and just run it. Yeah, everything's the same. Done.